What's up? What's up? What's up, my good people? It's your girl Stephanie with the Wife School Podcast. I am here for just to bring light to something that I just found very disturbing that I haven't heard, but on TikTok, there's some things you're going to hear on TikTok that you're not going to hear on other social media platforms. It was very disturbing, and it put me in the mind of what's really going on. What's really going on with men, what's really going on with women, what's really going on with our mental health, what's really going on with the state of children. And I'm seeing that the world is just getting straight up wicked, straight up wicked. And Mr. Skinny, how are you doing? And I just want to pay attention to our wicked ways. I know that we have like gender wars and like it's all the stupid stuff. Like really, there's just, as I came last time, there's just an enemy that just wants us in confusion. He wants us unprotected. He wants us distracted. And good to see you as well. and and it's disturbing to me. And then sometimes, like for me, I'm an introverted person, and I also feel sensitive to things in the world, maybe people going through situations and things like that. I'm kind of like sensitive, and it gets overwhelming for me at times. So I have to step away, or I have to go watch something, that builds me up, something creative, like inspirational, because there's just so much going on. It weights me down. And then if you're a misery, before you know it, you'll be in the misery love company group, and they'll drag you into it, and before you know, you're like, well, how did I get here? Why am I bashing so and so, or things like that? So I just had to step away. And this story put me in the mind of, Sodom and Gomorrah, and wicked ways, and how the enemy is just slowly creeping in and causing, we're seeing people have reprobate minds and predatory mind. It's just really sad. And I just stumbled up on this today. It's about a story about a young man. And so our theme is wicked ways. Okay. I want to kind of be on the screen. Maybe you can't really see me there. Let me see. Can you see me here? No. Oh, that's a guy crying in the back. I need to get rid of that. Um, how do I do this? Okay, but might as well just stay there. It's about this young guy named Bachir, and he went to a Moroccan festival. He's 13 years old, and he was attacked by 14 men, and I mean, not beat up, like, attacked in another way. Let's say, my father had a mild heart attack last week. Oh my God, he's fine now, but made it appreciate life more. Oh, thank God that your dad is okay. Tell him just to be very mindful, change immediately his eating and all those things. Thank God he's still here. And thank God for that. Me and my situation, my brother, my nephew, he passed away on Friday, and he had a heart transplant. So he's been waiting. He's been fighting for a long time. And I guess, the heart didn't take, but we watched his whole journey, and he passed away last Friday. So yes, appreciate life, appreciate your loved ones, appreciate those around you ever the more. Okay? Ever the more. Because it could be you, it could be me, we never know. So there's lots of more important things that we need to focus on than fighting and hearing gender war. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. Welcome to those that are watching. And it put me in the mind of, the climate of where we are in society, in the world, and things going around us. Matthew 24:12 says, and because iniquity is sin, iniquity is the things we want to do instead of what God said, commanded us not to do, the debauchery, the sleeping around, and the cheating, and all these things that he commanded us to come out of. We People love to do it. Hey team, how you doing? People love it, and it's just like, okay, like, hello, we've gone to church, we know what God is asking from us and things like that. But people do what they want, and you try in a loving way, and then when they get knocked down on their tail, that's when they want to come hollering back like, oh Lord, forgive me, my heart, like, oh, okay, yeah, I do, but you seem like in your heart you didn't want to listen. So, and because iniquity shall abound, and we see it abounding, we see it on our panels, we see it all on social media, the love of many shall wax cold. And this is sort of like the basis of what we're seeing. The foundation of the product of sinning and doing it in a mass. So this country's doing it, that country doing it, this state doing it. You look at the HIV cases. Because of the iniquity, because we want to jump in them beds, because we want to do this, because we want to do that, we want to be out in them streets, and we claim demon time. Look what has resulted. The love, there's no love, there's no respect, there's no honor. And black people are cold. They don't care. They say, well, I'll go out here and give it to 20 people. I don't care about nobody's protecting the children. Oh, F those kids. It's like, ugh. And just people are just being cold to one another. So you're wondering, where is the love? Where is you're looking for it, but because we keep treating each other in such a way, without respect, without consideration, then you feel like, well, I don't have to do it if she ain't doing it. That's what a lot of people are resorting to. And because there's more and more iniquity, the love is gone. How can love dwell among you? How can Christ dwell in you if you love your sin more? It can't happen. You can't serve two masters. You just can't do it. You got to choose one, and you have to choose the other. That's it. That's kingdom math. You can't do both. What we want to do is we want to justify every old thing. Well, this is why, I'm with her, because she got the fatty. Lord, he's like, stop. But you're like, I can't. I'm with him because of the 6 feet 6 inches, 6 figures. Like, you understand? Do you understand how crazy we sound the more we have these conversations? How much more we need Jesus, how much more we need wisdom, how much more we need understanding, and we don't have it because the love is waxing cold and things are just going all awry. So if you're out of place with God, now God's covering all of us, but if you're out of place, then the woman's going to be out of place. Then the child grows up, doesn't know anything, isn't even covered by the people that are supposed to be over them. So everything is out of place and out of order. Do they focus on the people that are trying to get y'all in order? No, because it's the Bible says people love darkness more than they love light. So we know to expect it, but we still have to get up and get out here and preach and teach and be a watchman and hold people accountable, but in the love of God. Because it's not my book. I didn't write the book. He did. I know you want to kill the messenger, me, but I didn't write it. Okay. So it just put me in that remembrance of Matthew 24:12, of how just things are just going to go bad because people want to do iniquity. And I believe it's the revival of Sodom and Gomorrah. I believe it's a new revival's coming. I don't want to believe it, but I mean, didn't we just get over the Diddy cases? He like the other He liked that stuff, and they trying to approve of certain other things of, lowering the age of consent, and a lot of women aren't protected, and there's that telegram that has 70,000 men. 70,000 men in a group chat on their phones on Telegram on how they do such things. Those are horrible acts. And we live in a world of millions of people and just so many things that are hitting on certain list. The E list. We know what the E list is. Certain things. So you're wondering what's going on. Why is so much going on? With so much done in the darkness? But it's all coming to light, and I'm thankful to God for it. I don't want to hear it, but just imagine all the people that are suffering in silence and they can't say nothing. They can't say nothing, or they're too afraid. But I'm thanking God that He's exposing a lot of things, and He is exposing it because He's trying to get us to get right with Him, right with other people. You may not have gone as far as a Sodom and Gomorrah, but you have offended somebody. If you offended them, go say sorry. You know, He's trying to set things right and save as much people as possible. Mm, I'm just, yeah, you're right. It's already here, and even like with Cat Williams in his interview with Shannon Sharp, he was like, a lot of things are gonna be exposed. It's gonna be God's side against the other side. The other side is starting to come unraveled, guys. And if you say you in God, He's coming after you too, because judgment begins at the house. So he's gonna visit y'all first. We seen some big boys step down, right? I can't be the pastor no. Yeah, you coming up too from under the rug. It's time for you to go sit down. Exactly, and for your betterment. That's all I have to say about that. And so, as I said, this evil versus good, but it seems just like so much evil is prevailing. Um, I've never felt so much of a tug and pull to fast and pray, for myself and for others. For others. There's so many people out here hurting. There's so many people out here really hurting. And if you don't have, what I find is that, like, I know that there's people that are really trying, to give a good, encouraging word. Your mother said, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. But all we have is what we see online, people just not saying nice things and having a microphone behind it. Are you helping somebody, or are you just keeping us bound and stuck at a certain level? Below, you see where the good is? It look like it's just falling off, breaking like below the evil, what are you contributing? Like, what do you want to be known for? Things that solutions that you're trying to bring, the ways that you brought communities together, that you brought people together, that you elevated people to think positive and love one another, to be a community, um, or what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just tired, honestly. I feel like, sometimes I hold back because I'm like a little bulldog, little pit bull, pit bull for Jesus. But sometimes, even in that, I have to tame that tongue. I have to put myself subject under what He wants to say, because it's not about wanting to be right. It's about being effective. So I can draw people into out of the kingdom of darkness into the kingdom of light. We can't do what we want to do. We can't say what we want to say when we truly are submitted to God. We can't. But that's the difference between people that know their place in God and people that just be talking. It's time to change that. Okay. Time to change. So what um happened to Bachir? I think I kind of alluded to that a little bit. My um My phone be on and off. Bashir. I believe I have a video. Maybe we can pull that up and then the person can explain it a little bit better. Okay. Let's turn it up loud. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Let's go. I'm still, oh, y'all see I haven't streamed in a long time. Forgive me.
In Morocco, why countless people are protesting and demanding justice after an extremely horrific crime took place in the middle of a major cultural festival attended by thousands of people. A 13-year-old boy became the victim of 14 men. I'm going to go into a lot of distressing details. If you cannot listen to that right now, that is absolutely understandable. This happened during the annual Moulay Abdel Amran, I hope I'm saying that somewhere correctly, festival in the El Jadida province. The child called Bachir had nobody to protect him. He had lost his father, and it was also being reported that his mother suffers from a serious mental illness, which made it very easy for these perpetrators to target him. He attended the festival accompanied by a group of young men from Yusufia, Sifi Benur, and Sifi Ahmed. During the event, some of these individuals then repeatedly, gave him substances to subdue him and then essayed him. Once he finally was able to regain complete consciousness again, the boy had discovered that 14 men in total had assaulted him over the course of several days. And then after returning to his hometown of Yusufia, the boy, in a severely distressed psychological state, revealed the abuse to his neighbors, who usually look after him as his mother is very ill and she cannot do it herself anymore. The neighbors immediately reported the case to the authorities, and they, accompanied him to a hospital in the area. Due to the severity of his condition, doctors transferred him to the University Hospital in Marrakesh for specialized treatment. We're going to talk about what happened in Morocco and why countless people are protesting and demanding justice.
Isn't that devastating? Just devastating. You out trying to go have fun. And we've already known how, Mr. P Diddy like to drug people. And then they would just pass out, not know what happened. And this 13-year-old, 14 people over a few days, 14 men, sorry. And you're like, this is just one person that um, case got seen. What about other people that haven't, that didn't know what happened to them, or other young men, what I'm saying, or scared or would come forward? For that to happen to a man, and they're not saying that, God has the final say, but that opens doors to another identity, which we know, right? And the distress, the mental distress for that young man. And you wonder what the heck was going on in these men's brain. And the fact that they couldn't even find a woman? Are you serious? At a festival where there's going to be a whole bunch of people, whole bunch of women. I'm probably wouldn't even want you near a woman anyway. But that this has been done to them. Usually people that do that, it has been done to them. They've been victimized as well. So it's like, God, what do we do? We definitely have to protect our children. One, where they go, who they with, no sleepovers. We have to protect our children. We got to know who we're in the presence of. We have to ask God for discernment. Because it's getting wild out here. And people do not care. They want to fulfill the works of their flesh, the desires. It doesn't matter who they tear down in the way, in the path of doing so. It's very, very, very sad and concerning. Sorry, I didn't, I didn't modify that one. So what I love about the Bible is that they have a lot of examples. You would think back then, they be stoning people, but I mean, these acts have been happening for thousands. These spirits have been circulating in this world for thousands of years. Perverse spirits, thousands of years. And I know God is just sick of it. Okay, I know He's sick of all this mess. But just to see how we can look back, because some people use the Bible as a historical document, um, for thousands and thousands of years. And reading Genesis 19 just a little bit, and it just shows you the depravity and the perverse and the reprobate of the mind of the men in this city of Sodom, these two cities, Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm gonna read. The two angels arrived at Sodom in the evening. So there's angels, right? Now these are not men, okay? These are angels. Um, arrived at Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting in the gateway of the city. When he saw them, he got up to meet them and bowed down his face to the ground. My lords, he said, please turn aside to your servant's house. You can wash your feet and spend the night and then go on your way early in the morning. No, they answered. We will spend the night in the square. But he insisted so strongly that they go with him and enter the house. We know why he insisted, because there were some people out there that were a little cray cray in the city. They were a little fresh, assertive, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? So he insisted, like, no, y'all come here. And he prepared a meal for them, baking bread without yeast, and they ate. Before they had gone to bed, all the men from every part of the city of Sodom, both young and old, surrounded the house. Look at them demons. From every part of the city, coming to some little old single family home. That's crazy. Do you see the depravity? Do you see the lust? Do you see how nasty lust is? That it can't only just have a couple people coming after you, but a whole city. It can attack a whole city. Atlanta. That principality of lust and perversion can be over a whole state and city. So I want you to see the severity of this and the seriousness, looking into the spirit, okay? And then see and look into our world, and then start to know, okay, now that I know that the spirit of lust can be a principality over a whole city, let's start identifying some of those states. Cali, Atlanta. I live here in Massachusetts. We got a little city called Provincetown. You know, this is not what they talk about on panels. These are the things we're fighting against. That's coming against your children, your men, and your women. These are principalities we're fighting against. So they came out from the whole city, young and old. So the old men, they tapped into them young men. I'm sure they didn't grow up that way. That's all I have to say. They surrounded the house. They called to Lot, where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so we can have smacks with them. Bold, huh? It's crazy, huh? All the city Say, where them dudes so we can have our way with them. Wow. Doesn't that sound like, a certain thing that they say, see me, hear me? And if you don't, you're going to get canceled. Wow, that spirit is very powerful. I just want you to be aware of that. The spirit is very, very powerful. Okay. And Lot went to meet them and shut the door behind them and said, no, my friends. I don't know why he called them friends. Okay. No, Lot. Don't do this wicked thing. So it was wicked, right? Wicked in the sight of the Lord. And so he tried to even offer them, which I wish he didn't do. I have two daughters who have never slept with a man. Let me bring them out to you. He even tried to offer up his daughters. But he said, don't do anything to these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof. These are my guests. And they said, get out of our way. This fellow came here as a foreigner. Now he wants to play a judge. We'll treat him worse than them. So that meant, you don't tell us what to do. We're gonna take them down. We're gonna have our time with them, and then we're gonna treat you worse. We're gonna have our way with you worse than them. Do you see how perverse that thing is, that spirit is? First, I didn't care. I'm gonna have my way, and I'm going to worse. I just saw a post today on a man. I wish I had it. He said his wife taped him. He said he was talking to the phone on the phone with his boy, talking on the phone like, yeah, I gave my wife HIV. Excuse me? He gave his wife. He said, yeah, boy, I gave my wife HIV, but she gonna accuse me though. How's she gonna accuse me first? I gotta get rid of that background. It's driving me insane. How's she gonna accuse me? Even though he did it, right? She just gonna accuse me first, like she could have got some no accountability. Now where you gonna hear that daggone foolishness from? No accountability. When I've been married to you for such and such years, and now I get this disease, which you did give to her, and then telling her she ain't got no accountability. And this is why I say we've really got to be careful what we are telling people on these platforms. Now you got this whole man that is guilty, but he's bringing up a no accountability YouTube talking point, destroying the health of his wife. And you see why I don't be on certain panels, or I don't go, because God's going to hold me accountable. And he'll hold me accountable greater, because I know what I'm supposed to say. I'm supposed to be led by him, what to say, what not to say. He said not to be with people. It says it in the word. I have to find it. It said bad communication corrupts good manners. So I'm sitting up here amidst this bad communication. It's making me, like I said, drawing me into this misery thing. Like it's gonna corrupt me. Now I'm gonna be looking just like them. No, I don't want to be held accountable in that way. We have to be very careful what we say online. We do, and so unfortunate that somebody would say that. Hold your wife accountable when you literally gave her HIV. I don't know. Help. Lord help us, okay? And they said, this guy came here as a foreigner. Now he wants to play the judge. We'll treat you worse than them, those angels. And they kept bringing pressure on Lot and move forward to break down the door. So now they said, now everybody came out from the city, young and old. We want those dudes. Who are you to tell? We're gonna mess them up. We're gonna mess you up. And now, when he closed the door, now they breaking down the door. Now, Marvin Sapp said, "Close the door, close." They were trying to break down the door. Look at that. We have to watch what we open doors to. Those spirits will have us doing things. It lusted so bad. The pride was so bad that they wanted to break down the door, the city, to have relationships with two angels of God. Their mind is gone. Their will was taken over. And you wonder why people get scared and everything, or like, I want to choose the bear, because look what a spirit can drive a person to do. Get the chick out the way. Wow, this is insane. So you really just know the seriousness of what's behind a lot of things that are happening in the world. Just know we wrestle not against flesh and blood, against principalities and powers and spiritual wickedness in high places. Know that. Next time you get a panel and they talking about black women, they're black women. Know that they're talking, but behind that there's principalities and powers trying to keep us separate and angry and hating one another. Just know that. Just always remember that. Always remember that. And so much that they tried to break the door down, but the men inside reached out, pulled Lot back into the house, and shut the door. And this is what the angels did. Then they struck the men who were at the door of the house, young and old, with blindness, so that they could not find the door. That was like, yo, this is just too much. They got struck with blindness. The angels, I'm telling you, look, my goodness. And the two men said to Lot, "Do you have anyone else here? Son-in-law, sons or daughters, or anyone else in the city who belongs to you?" So it was about to get serious. The angel said to them, "Get them out of here, because we're going to destroy this place." The outcry to the Lord against its people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it. Okay. The outcry to the Lord. The outcry to the Lord. Can you imagine how many people are crying to God and all across the world? It is getting so great that we know he's going to destroy all this. I know you might be scared. You may not want to hear, but he is. Sometimes I don't want to hear, but go ahead, destroy it, God, because as much evil is in this world and against the men, against the women, against the children, against the governments, against all these things. As I remember people said, "Earth is ghetto." Earth is ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Earth is ghetto, and God is tired, and He's telling us to choose this day who we're gonna serve, because I'm getting ready to destroy. There's so many things that goes on in this nation that we don't even know about, but the outcry of so many people. I know the children. Yes, planet Earth. Oh, I keep forgetting it. Planet Earth is a project. See it? How? I'm forgetting how to do the amen. That's right. See, I be forgetting. I be so into my brain, and I. It's my job to encourage everyone, even myself. I always have to stay before God and keeping my face before Him and praying and things like that, because I know we let the whole day go and then we give God like this much time. That's not right. And I am guilty of that. I make excuses sometimes, but He's tired, and and enough of it. We're too grown, and we know too much, you know. And what's next? What's next is that we got to get people that are bold to come to the forefront and call a thing a thing. Right? Call a thing a thing. We have to build up. We have to start speaking love to one another and stop the blame. We were shaming certain behaviors and things of that, but now it's turned into the blame game. But really, there are things to blame, and it's greater than us. It's a spiritual thing. And we cannot, in the spiritual world, you cannot fight if your spirit man is malnutrition. If you spend all your time going to the gym and getting to the bag, but you never spend any time reading, you never spend any time fasting, you never spend any time before God. So of course that part of you is going to be weak. It said where two or three are gathered in my name, there He is in the midst. There God is in the midst. If I can't come together, if we can't even come together and pray, how are we going to fight? How are we going to fight? How are we going to send prayers over that city where we know things are happening, where we can pull down these things that are over the city, which we've seen? All the men, all the young and old, everybody came out. We are the most powerful thing in this earth. As I said, it's the church, the organism, not the organization, because the organism is living. We live in God. It's our lifestyle. Organizations can rise and fall. No, 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 no. We are the organism of God. And if we're not effective, how can we? How can we fight? You know what I'm saying? We like that antibiotic. There's a disease going on, so give it that antibiotic. But if the antibiotic is weak, and how you going to fight? We have to be strong in God so that we can pray over regions. We can pray over cities. We can go out in the streets and witness to people that are hurting, that are needing, that are in certain lifestyles, and tell them about God's love, because that's all that matters, because they need a savior just like I needed a savior. And they might yell at you, they might throw things or whatever, but it's all worth it for Him, because He made it. We were worth it for Him to be beaten and accused when He did no wrong. So we have to do the same and have the same heart as Jesus. And it's coming to that time. We see in other countries there, treating the Christians really bad. And it hasn't reached home yet, but I did see that somebody on the news just sprayed into a Catholic church and hurt two kids, 8 years old and 11, and they're no longer here. Sometimes you can just be praising God or just sitting somewhere, and then you're no longer here. So it's good to get our house in order, encourage others to get their house in order, and then rinse and repeat until we can't do no more. So hopefully I didn't bring you guys down too much, but I just want to let you guys know and give you a little education of the real enemy that we're fighting, that's in our homes, in our families, in our relationships, that are attacking us. An enemy that we can't see, but it's very, very real and is growing day by day, but we can take it. We're powerful. We're more powerful than our enemy. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. And I love you, Mr. Highway. You're always here. I appreciate it. And all those that are watching the replay, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I probably should have said at the beginning. I'm still forgetting this YouTube stuff lingo, but please like, share, and subscribe. And I love you on today. And be blessed. And I'll be back again.
I just wanna take a